Theory of equations, matrices, and vector calculus. Theory of equations. Study of algebraic equations or polynomial equations. In this topic, we have to cover polynomial functions, polynomial equations, multiple roots, relation between the roots and coefficients of a polynomial equation, transformation of equation, symmetric functions of the root. Then 7. Reciprocal equations. 8. Algebraic solution of equations. 9. Cubic equations. 10. Biquadratic or quadratic equations. 11. Character and position of the roots. 12. Descartes' rules of signs. If you are visiting my YouTube channel for the first time, subscribe this channel, turn your notification bell. Now, let us cover each and every topic. The first chapter, theory of equations. In this topic, now we are going to discuss about polynomial functions. We all have heard about polynomial functions. The definition says that a function defined by The definition says that a function defined by f of x equal to a naught x raised to n plus a1 x raised to n minus 1 plus etc. plus a. So, a polynomial function will be in the form a naught x raised to n plus a1 x raised to n minus 1 plus etc. plus an, where a naught is not equal to 0 and also n will be a positive integer or 0, and then ai, which means a naught, a1, a2, etc. up to an. This ai will be complex numbers, fixed complex numbers. Then it will be called a polynomial of degree n in x. Moreover, the fixed complex numbers such as a naught, a1, a2, etc. up to an, they are called the coefficients of f. We can write an example. 3x squared minus 4x plus 7 equal to 0. This is a polynomial function. And another example, 3x cubed plus 4x squared minus 7 equal to 0. This is also another example for a polynomial function. So, we know that there are many roots for this polynomial functions. If suppose a function f of x equal to a naught x raised to n plus a1 x raised to n minus 1 plus etc. plus an, and alpha is a root of it, then we can read it as f of alpha. F of alpha, which is equal to a naught alpha raised to n plus a1 alpha raised to n minus 1 etc. plus a. Okay, then then this alpha is called as, which will be equal to 0. Then this alpha will be called as root of the polynomial. Similarly, here the one of the factor is 1 for this equation, 3x cubed plus 4x squared minus 7. That is 3 into 1 3 plus 4 into 1 4, 3 plus 4 7, 7 minus 7 equal to 0. That is f of 1 equal to 0, which means 1 is a root of this polynomial. Now you will get a clear idea about polynomial functions and the root of this polynomial. Now let us discuss about two theorems of this section. We will have to discuss many theorems in this chapter. So let us number it. This is the first theorem. The first theorem, the fundamental theorem of algebra. This theorem is saying that every polynomial functions of degree n greater than or equal to 1 has at least one zero. That is, every polynomial functions of degree n greater than or equal to 1 has at least one polynomial, which means that we have already written that f of x equal to a naught x raised to n plus a1 x raised to n minus 1 plus a2 x raised to n minus 2 etc. plus n. If f of x equal to a naught x raised to n plus a1 x raised to n minus 1 plus a2 x raised to n minus 2 plus etc. plus an, then the if n greater than or equal to 1, then there exists a complex number, alpha such that f of alpha is equal to a naught alpha raised to n plus a1 alpha raised to n minus 1 plus a2 alpha raised to n minus 2 plus etc. plus an will be equal to 0. This is that theorem. The fundamental theorem of algebra is every polynomial functions of degree n greater than or equal to 1 has at least one zero. If alpha is the complex number, then f of alpha is equal to a naught alpha raised to n plus a1 alpha raised to n minus 1 plus a2 alpha raised to n minus 2 plus etc. plus an will be equal to 0. This theorem was discovered by Carl Friedrich Gauss. Okay, you may just note it. Carl Friedrich Gauss. Carl Friedrich Gauss. This theorem was discovered by Carl Friedrich Gauss. Proof we don't have to discuss here, and also we will be stating many theorems in this chapter, but we will be not discussing any of the proof. Okay. Second theorem: every polynomial of degree n has n and only n zeros. Every polynomial of degree n has n and only n zeros. We have already said about the general form of a polynomial function, which is f of x equal to a naught x raised to n plus a1 x raised to n minus 1 plus a2 x raised to n minus 2 plus etc. plus an. For this, we will be having only n and only n zeros. If the equation is, let us consider an equation to get you more. 2x cube plus 4x square minus 3x plus 7 equal to 0. For this equation, they will be having only 3 zeros only will be having for it. And also, you may be confused about the zero term. 0 is also known as root. Okay. 0 is also known as root of the polynomial. We have discussed in that earlier. Now, two theorems are discussed in this topic, polynomial functions. Now, let us move to the another topic, that is polynomial equations. The second topic is polynomial equations. Polynomial equations. Let f of x equal to a naught x raised to n plus a1 x raised to n minus 1 plus a2 x raised to n minus 2 plus etc. plus an minus 1 raised to x plus a, where a naught is not equal to 0, be a polynomial in x of degree n. This is a polynomial function that we have discussed. There are also another conditions, that is a naught, a1, a2 are fixed complex numbers. Okay, you will know about it. Then we will say a polynomial equation is this one. This one is called a polynomial equation. This is the polynomial function. Then a polynomial equation is a naught x raised to this one, a naught x raised to n plus a1 x raised to n minus 1 plus a2 x raised to n minus 2 plus etc. plus an minus 1 whole raised to x, no, n minus 1 into x plus an. This is called a polynomial equation. Okay. Then we can restate the theorem that we have discussed in the very few earlier. That is, we have said it as every polynomial of degree n has n and only n zeros. Okay, we can restate it as every polynomial equation. Every polynomial equation has n and only n zeros. Okay, hope you will understand what is a polynomial equations. And now we can move to some theorems. Third theorem. If the equation a naught x raised to n plus a1 x raised to n minus 1 plus etc. plus an minus 1x plus an equal to 0, where a naught, a1, a2 etc. n are real numbers, has a complex root alpha plus I beta, then it has also a complex root alpha minus I beta. This is the theorem. That is, if the f of x equal to this one, a naught x raised to n plus a1 x raised to n minus 1 plus etc. plus an equal to 0, here a naught, a1, a2 are real numbers, then it will be having a complex root alpha plus I beta, that is f of alpha plus I beta. Then the theorem says that it is also having another root, that is f of alpha minus I beta. This is the theorem. Okay, this is a statement of the theorem. I have already said that I will be not discussing about the proof of the theorem, but we will be discussing many problems regarding this theorem. Okay, theorem says that if the equation a naught x raised to n plus a1 x raised to n minus 1 plus etc plus n minus 1 into x plus n equal to 0, where a naught, a1, a2, an are real numbers, then it will be if it have a complex root alpha plus I beta, then it has also another complex root, that is alpha minus I beta. This will be equal to 0, this will be equal to 0. This is the theorem. Okay, now let us go to the problems. Before moving to the problem, here we have to say a corollary. Any equation of odd degree has at least one real root. Corollary says that we have said in the theorem that there is, if for an equation f of x equal to a naught x raised to n plus a1 x raised to n minus 1 plus etc plus an has an complex root alpha plus I beta, then it has also another complex root, that is alpha minus I beta. Here the corollary is any equation of odd degree has at least one real root. If an equation is of an odd degree, there will be one real root. Minimum one real root will be there, that is at least one real root. Okay, then first problem is solve x raised to 4 plus 4x cube plus 5x square plus 2x minus 2 equal to 0, of which one root is minus 1 plus I. This is the question. Let us go to the answer. If the question is solved, we have to find all roots for this equation. The equation is x raised to 4 plus 4x cube plus 5x square plus 2x minus 2 equal to 0. If one of the root is minus 1 plus I, then another root will be minus 1 minus I, because in the theorem we have said that if alpha plus I beta is in a root, alpha plus I beta is a root, then alpha minus I beta will also be another root for the equation. So here minus 1 plus I is a root, then minus 1 minus I will be another root. Okay, is another root for the equation. For the equation. Okay, if the roots are minus 1 plus I, minus 1 minus I, then we can say that x minus 1 plus I and x minus 1 minus I are the factors of the equation. Factors of the equation. Am I right? If minus 1 plus I and minus 1 minus I are the roots, then x minus 1 plus I and x minus 1 minus I will be the factors, right? And also the product of these two factors will be another factor for this equation, right? So we can product it. That is x. My pen is playing something. Okay, let us adjust. X minus 1 plus I, that is minus of minus plus 1 minus I. Wait for a few seconds. Okay, x plus 1 minus I. Wait. Okay, x plus 1 minus I into x plus 1 plus I, right? By multiplying these two, we will get another factor for the equation, that is x plus 1 minus I into x plus 1 plus I. This is in the form of a minus b into a plus b, that is a minus b into a plus b is equal to a square minus b square, which is equal to x plus 1 whole square minus I square. Okay, x plus 1 whole square is equal to x square plus 1 plus 2x minus I square is what? I square is minus 1, minus of I square is plus 1. So x square plus 2x plus 2 is another factor of x raised to 4 plus 4x cube plus 5x square plus 2x minus 2 equal to 0. Okay, then we can divide. Then we can divide equation by x square plus 2x plus 2. Let me show you how the division is. Here the f of x is written inside, and we have to divide by the factor, that is x square plus 2x plus 2. Now consider, we have studied in the our lower classes of x square into x square is x raised to 4, x square into 2x will be 2x cube, then x square into 2 is 2x square divided by x raised to 4 minus x raised to 4 will be 0, 4x cube minus 2x cube is plus 2x cube, then 5x square minus 2x square is 3x square plus 2x minus 2. Then here 2x cube and x square, then here will be 2x, right? Then 2x into x square is 2x cube. Okay, 2x square into x is 2x, 2x into x square is 2x cube, 2x into 2x is 4x square, 2x into 2 is 4x plus 4x. Then 2x cube minus 2x cube 0, 3x square minus 4x square is minus 1x square, that is minus x square, 2x minus 4x is minus 2x minus 2, then 1 minus 1 into x square is minus x square, minus 1 into 2x is minus 2x, minus 1 into 2 is minus 2 is 0. So x square plus 2x plus 2 into x square plus 2x minus 1 are the factors of equation. Now let us solve the God equation, that is x square plus 2x minus 1. X square plus 2x minus 1 can be written as minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac. That form, it is the quadratic equation. So minus 2 plus or minus root of b square is 2 square 4 minus, can you see here, minus 4 b square minus 4 into 1 into minus 1 divided by 2 into 1. Okay, this is equal to minus 2 plus or minus root of 4 minus 4 into 1, that is minus 2 plus or minus root of 4 plus 4 divided by 2 is equal minus 2 plus or minus root of 4 plus 4 divided by 2 into 1, which is equal to minus 2 plus root 8 divided by 2 and minus 2 minus root 8 divided by 2. Minus 2 plus root 8. Root 8 can be written as root of 4 into 2, which is 2 root 2. That is minus 2 plus 2 root 2 divided by 2 and minus 2 minus 2 root 2 divided by 2, which is equal to minus 1 plus root 2 and minus 1 minus root 2. So the roots are minus 1 plus root 2, minus 1 minus root 2, minus 1 plus I, minus 1 minus I. Okay, this is the answer for the question. Now let us move to another theorem. Theorem 4. In an equation with rational coefficients, the roots which are quadratic surds occur in conjugate pairs. That is, if the equation is having rational coefficients and the roots are in quadratic surds, which will be occur in conjugate pairs. That is, this theorem states that if minus 1 plus root 2 is a root for this equation, then minus 1 minus root 2 will be also a root for this equation. Okay. Now let us solve some problems. Second question is, solve the equation x raised to 4 plus x cube minus 33x square plus 61x minus 14 equal to 0, given that 2 plus root 3 is a root. So from the previous theorem, we can say here that if 2 plus root 3 is a root, then 2 minus root 3 is another root. For the equation. Am I right? That is x minus 2 plus root 3 and x minus 2 minus root 3 are the factors for the equation, that is x minus 2 plus root 3 is x minus 2 minus root 3, x minus 2 plus root 3 will be a factor for the equation, that is x minus 2 minus root 3, x minus 2 plus root 3, which will be equal to x minus 2 whole square minus root 3 square, which is x minus 2 whole square, x square minus 4x plus 4 minus 3 plus 4 minus 3 1, that is x square minus 4x plus 1. Okay, divide x raised to 4 plus x cube minus 33 x square plus 61 x minus 14 by x square minus 4x plus 1. So x raised to 4, here x square into x square is x raised to 4, x square into minus 4x is minus 4x cube, x square into 1 is x square, right? Then x cube minus 4x cube is x cube minus 4x will be equal to plus 5x cube. That minus 33 minus 1 will be minus 34x square plus 61x minus 14. Then here 5, right? 5x square, 5x. 5x into x square is 5x cube. 5 into 4, 20, minus 20x square. Then 5x plus 5x. 34x square, minus 34x square minus of minus 20x square is minus plus minus 34 plus 20 is minus 14x square, right? Minus 34 plus 20 will be minus 14x square plus 61 minus 5 is 56 minus 14, right? Then here 14x square. 14 into 4 is minus 56. 14 into minus 4 is minus 56. Here somewhere mistake. 61 minus 5. We should get. Okay, I have found a mistake that here minus 14x square, right? Here we have put here positive. Here minus. So minus 14 into x square is minus 14x square. Minus 14 into minus 4 is plus 56, right? Then minus 14 into plus 1 is minus 14, right? This is minus 14, am I right? So this will be 0. So x square plus 5x minus 14 is another factor. By solving this equation, we can get two more root. It is x square plus 5x minus 14 implies minus 5 plus or minus root of b square, that is 25 plus or minus 4ac, 4 into 1 into minus 14 divided by 2 is equal to minus 5 plus or minus 25 plus 14 into 4, 14 into 4, 4 into 4, 16, 4 into 1, 56. Okay, 56 plus 25 is 611, 5 2, 7, 7 plus 1, 81. Root 81 divided by 2. 2, right? 2. Okay. 2 into 1, so 2. This is minus 5 plus root 81 is 9 divided by 2, and minus 5 minus 9 divided by 2. Minus 5 plus 9 means what will be that is 4 by 2, that is 2 equal to 2. Minus 5 minus 9 is minus 14, minus 14 by 2 is minus 7. So 2 and minus 7 are another roots for this equation. Hence roots for the given equation are, 2 plus root 3, 2 minus root 3, minus 7, 2. Okay, now let us go to the another theorem in this section. Theorem 5. if the rational number p by q a fraction in its lowest term, okay, if the rational number p by q a fraction in its lowest term, so that p q are integers prime to each other where q naught is not equal to 0, is the root of the equation a naught x raised to n plus a1 x raised to n minus 1 plus etc plus an minus 1 into x plus n equal to 0, where a naught, a1, a2 etc an are integers and a naught is not equal to 0. Then the theorem is saying the final statement here is p is a divisor of an, q is a divisor of a naught. Okay, have you got it? It means that if an equation that is in the form of a naught x raised to n plus a1 x raised to n minus 1 plus etc plus n equal to 0, if it having a root, a rational root, that is root will be a rational number in the form p by q. We know that rational number will be in the form p by q and q is not equal to 0. Also said that this root will be prime to each other, which means that 2 by 3 will be prime to each other. We cannot cancel anymore. Such numbers are prime to each other, okay, like these numbers or 1 by 2 we cannot cancel anymore, that is thus we say prime to each other, okay. Then that rational number which is a root will be in that number which is in the form of p by q. Here p will be a divisor of an, this an, this an, p will be divisor of an, q will be divisor of a naught. Okay, have you got the theorem? This is simple. If the rational number p by q, a fraction in its lowest term, is a root of the equation, then p is a divisor of a n, q is a divisor of a naught. We can solve the problems. Before going to the problem, we will have to discuss another theorem, that is theorem 6. Every rational root of the equation x raised to n plus a1 into x raised to n minus 1 plus etc plus n equal to 0, ai is an integer. Then this theorem is saying, moreover, every such root must be a divisor of the constant an. Every rational root, in this equation, if it having rational root, all this root will be a divisor of this constant an. Okay, I think it will be clear for you. Next, we can move to the problem. Question is, solve 4x raised to 5 plus x2 plus x square minus 3x plus 1 equal to 0, given that it has rational root. So in the question it is given that it is having rational root, and the question is to solve. So we have to find all the roots of this equation. Okay, then if it is having rational root, by theorem we can say that let p by q be a rational root, so that p is a divisor of an. Here an is 1 of 1 and q is a divisor of 4. Here q is a positive divisor of 4. Positive divisor of 4. So p can be written as, p is a divisor of 1, so p can be written as either plus 1 or minus 1, and q can be written as, if q is a divisor of 4, then q can be either 1, 2 or 4. So the roots can be 1 by 1 plus 1 by 1, that is 1 itself, minus 1 by 1 which is minus 1, plus 1 by 2, minus 1 by 2, then plus 1 by 4, and then minus 1 by 4. So p by q can be these all. From this, some of them can satisfy this equation. You can check everything. So f of x equal to 4x raised to 5 plus x cube plus x square minus 3x plus 1 equal to 0. F of 1 will be 4 into 1 4, 4 plus 1 5, 5 plus 1 6, 6 minus, that is 4 plus 1 minus 3 plus 1, 5 plus 1 6, 6 plus 1 7, 7 minus 3 is not equal to 0. Okay, Then f of minus 1 is 4 into minus 1 whole raised to 5 is minus 4 plus minus 1 plus 1. Minus 1 into minus 1 is plus 1. Then minus 3 into minus 1 is plus 3 plus 1. Okay. Here minus 1 plus 1. Minus 4 plus 3 is minus 1. Minus 1 plus 1 equal to 0. Then we have to check for f of 1 by 2, f of minus 1 by 2, f of 1 by 4, f of minus 1 by 4. F of 1 by 2, 4 into 1 by 2 raised to 5 plus 1 by 2 cube plus 1 by 2 square minus 3 into 1 by 2 plus 1. This is equal to 0. Okay, then f of minus 1 by 2. It is 4 into minus 1 by 2 raised to 5 minus 1 by 2 cube plus 1 by 2 square minus 3 into minus 1 by 2 plus 1. This is minus 4 minus 4. I have taken here LCM as 2 raised to 5. Both here and here I have taken as 2 raised to 5, but I have shown only here. Okay, you will be getting it. This is 0. Same way, but this is not equal to 0. Then f of 1 by 4. This is not equal to 0. F of minus 1 by 4 is also not equal to 0. Here we have got that 1 by 2 and minus 1 are the only rational roots. To get more roots, we will have to do is, we have to divide our f of x by x minus 1 by 2 and x plus 1. Okay, so the factors of the equation are x minus 1 by 2, x plus 1. And the equation is 4x raised to 5 plus x cube plus x square minus 3x plus 1 divided by x minus 1 by 2. Okay, so x minus 1 by 2. By dividing this, we will get as 4x raised to 4. 1 by 2 and minus 1 are the only rational roots. So then we have to divide our equation by x minus 1 by 2 and x plus 1, so that we can get all the roots of this equation. So by dividing 4x raised to 5 plus x cube plus x square minus 3x plus 1 by x minus 1 by 2, we will get 4x raised to 4 plus 2x cube plus 2x square plus 2x minus 2. Okay, similarly by dividing this equation 4x raised to 4 plus 2x cube plus 2x square plus 2x minus 2 by x plus 1, we will get 4x cube minus 2x square plus 4x minus 2. Here we have got a cubic equation. Am I right? In this cubic equation, and to get more roots of this equation, we can this is a cubic equation. Also we know that every cubic equation having a root of f of x equal to 0. We have got that 1 by 2 and minus 1 are roots of that roots of the f of x. Okay, then there is a theorem that for every cubic equation one of the root will be the roots of this cubic equation too. Okay, the roots of f of x equal to 0, f of x equal to 0, then that any of which root is also root of 4x cube minus 2x square plus 4x minus 2. So either 1 by 2 or minus 1 is a root of this equation. So by checking f of 1 by 2 over it, we can find it as 4 into 1 by 2, that 1 by 2 whole cube minus 2 into 1 by 2 square plus 4 into 1 by 2 minus 2 is equal to 0. So then divide 4x cube minus 2x square plus 4x minus 2 by x minus 1 by 2. Since we got that 1 by 2 is a root of this equation, then we will get x square plus 1. If x square plus 1, then x is equal to minus 1. Okay, x square plus 1 is x square is equal to minus 1, and x is equal to minus root 1. We will get two values I and minus I. Okay. Then f of x can be written as x square plus 1 into x minus 1 by 2, x minus 1 by 2, x plus 1, which is I 1 by 2, 1 by 2 minus 1 minus I. This is the answer of the equation. Now we can move to another problem. Find the rational roots of the equation x raised to 4 minus x cube minus 19 x square plus 49x minus 30 equal to 0. Here we have to find the rational roots. Okay. By seeing the equation itself, we can understand that this is in the form of x raised to n plus a1 x raised to n minus 1 plus etc plus n equal to 0. By seeing this equation, we can say that this here the roots will be divisors of an, that is here an is minus 30. Theorem 4 is using here. Okay, so the roots can be my divisors of minus 30 are minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 5, then minus 15, minus 30. Am I right? Not only minus, plus or minus, right? Plus or minus. So the divisors are plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 3, plus or minus 5, plus or minus 15, plus or minus 30. So we can check which of these are satisfying our given equation. Okay, so by checking out, we can say that is 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, minus 5 are roots. Okay, but it is 1 raised to 4 plus minus 1 cube minus 19 plus 49 minus 30 is equal to 0. Same with 2, same with 3 and minus 5. So these are the roots. This is a simple question. Now we can go to another topic, that is multiple roots. Third section, multiple roots. This is a simple topic that this saying that if alpha is a root of f of x equal to 0, if it is repeated for r times, then it is called an r multiple root. Okay, if a root for f of x equal to 0 is repeated for r times, it is called an r multiple root. If it is repeated for 2 times, it is called a double root. Alpha is a double root. If 3 times, triple root, and so on. A theorem is regarding this topic. It is that if alpha is an r multiple root of f of x equal to 0, then alpha is an r minus multiple root of f dash of x equal to 0. This is simple. If alpha is repeated for r times for f of x equal to 0, then it will be repeated for r minus 1 times when f dash of x equal to 0. This is the theorem. We will show you an example that let f of x equal to x raised to 4 plus x cube minus x square plus 7. Okay, if 1, suppose you may consider it as 1 is a root of this equation. If it is repeated for 4 times for this equation, here r is 4. Then by differentiating this equation, we will get another equation. Then theorem is saying that it will be repeated. This root 1 will be repeated for this equation for 3 times. Hope you will get clear it. Then we can solve the problems regarding this topic. Solve the equation x cube plus x square minus 16x plus 20 equal to 0. It being given that sum of its roots being repeated. Okay, the equation is x cube plus x square minus 16x plus 20 equal to 0. So f of x equal to x cube plus x square minus 16x plus 20. And this question is that sum of its roots being repeated. So we know that sum of its roots being repeated, and also we know about a theorem that if r is a repeated root as if alpha is a repeated root for r times in f of x, then it will be repeating in f dash of x for r minus 1 times. So we can find f dash of x here. F dash of x equal to 3x square plus 2x minus 16. X cube 3x square 2x minus 16. So x is 3x square plus 2x minus 16. By solving this is a quadratic equation, we will get 2 and minus 8 by 3. 2 and minus 8 by 3 are roots of f dash of x. So this one of this root will be a root of f of x2 since roots are repeated. Okay. While checking f of 2 and f of minus 8 by 3, we get f of 2 equal to 0, f of minus 8 by 3 is not equal to 0. So we can conclude that 2 is a repeated root. So 2 is existing in f of x, f dash of x. Okay. Since a 2 is existing in f dash of x for 1 time, it must be exist in f of x for 2 times. Because if alpha is a root existing for r times in f of x, then it will be existing for r minus 1 time in f dash of x. Since 2 is existing in r time in f dash of x for 1 time, it must be existing in f of x for 2 times. Am I right? So x minus 2 a whole square. So 2 is repeated root. So x minus 2 whole square is x square minus 4x plus 4 is a factor for x cube plus x square minus 16x plus 20. Am I right? 2 is a repeated root, that is x minus 2 into x minus 2. It will be a factor of the equation, given equation. Okay. Dividing this equation by x square minus 4x plus 4, we will get x plus 5. That is f of x equal to x minus 2 whole square into x plus 5. Hence the roots are 2, 2 minus 5. Hope you understand it. Next we can move to another question. Hope you understand all the topics I have discussed today. Then another 3 topics will be discussed in the next video. Thank you for watching.